teaching you how to create this density map using Google Fusion tables. This map is actually 3 separate Fusion tables layered together, one of which is a polygon map and the other 2 are datasets that we're interested in mapping. We will be using a US Census cartographic boundary shapefile to delineate zip codes. We'll begin in our Google Drive. We'll go ahead and click New, and then we will want to go down to More and select Google Fusion Tables. This will prompt you to choose a file to import, and we will begin with our shapefile, our KML file for the zip codes. We'll go ahead and click Open and Next. And this is our shapefile right here. We'll go ahead and just click Next at this point. Now it does ask to attribute our data to a source, and we're not going to do that this time, but it is a good habit to have. And now we have our shapefile loaded. What we need to do now is add our other data sets. So we'll go to File, New Table, and again we'll be prompted to choose our file. This time we'll choose our voter registration by zip code dataset. We'll click Open and Next. It might take a few seconds to load depending on the size of your file. Okay, now we see that our dataset looks good. Next and Finish. And now we have our new Fusion table of voter registration by zip code. So now what we want to do is we want to merge these. So we'll go to File, Merge, and we will select our shapefile to merge with, our Fusion table. Now we do have to match the zip codes, so on our shapefile we'll select GeoID10. Those are the zip codes in that file. Go ahead and merge. And now we have our merge table created, so we'll view table, and this will show us the table itself. Now we'll go to Map of Geometry to view the map. And we see our map. We'll go ahead and zoom out here and find our, there we go, California. So we just zoom in. And you can see here the zip codes have been delineated. All of the data as of right now shows that there are data points in these zip codes. So we'll go to Feature Map, change Feature Styles. Under Polygons, we'll go to Fill Color. Now we can either do buckets or gradient. I prefer to do buckets, and this allows you to choose how many buckets you want to divide your data into. So we can do 8 in this case. And rather than looking at zip code, we want to know % registered to vote within that zip code. And we'll be using this range, so make sure you click that. And we'll change these buckets a little bit later, but for now, just so we can see how it looks, we'll click Save. And there you can see, we need to go ahead and add our legend. In our Change Feature Styles under Legend, we'll go ahead and show Polygon Fill Legend. Now we can see the ranges of the data that is being represented by these zip codes. And so another thing that we were interested in looking at here is volunteerism. So we will go ahead and go to File, New Table. We will be now importing our volunteer by zip code file. So we'll select that, click Open, and Next. And once it finishes loading, we'll see our file right there. Click Next again. Once again, Finish. And now we have a new Fusion table that we can now merge with our previously merged table of voter registration and shapefiles. So we'll merge it with our voter registration by zip code and shapefile. We'll click Next. This time it recognizes the zip code headers to connect the two tables. Now we'll hit Merge, and now we have our new table created. We'll view the table, and once again we will, once it finishes loading, click on Map of Geometry, And we will zoom out, and there we go. Find our data points right there. And similar to how we looked earlier, we see the zip codes, we see that there's data in these zip codes, but we want to know density. So in order to do that, again, we'll go to under feature map, change feature styles, we'll go to buckets. We can, like I said before, we can go to gradient, but for this case we'll do buckets. Now I like to separate them into the max, so eight buckets. We're interested in the percent registered to vote. We will use this range from 0 to 1. So this is where earlier I said we will be making an adjustment. So we want our range to go from 0 to 1 or 0 to 100%. And now we can see more color on this map. And once again, I forgot to add our legend, so we'll just go back and add it real quick. Show polygon fill legend, save, there we go. Now we can see our ranges once again. And now we will be applying a filter. This will allow us to hone in on areas that have higher densities of both voter registration and volunteering. So we actually want to look at percent volunteered in the last 12 months, and we will apply our filter. We can begin with just entering in any range, but we can see here that it goes from 0 to nearly 65%. So we'll just put in a range and click find, and we see now areas that have higher densities of both voter registration and volunteerism. And so we see some areas here in the Rancho Cucamonga Fontana area, Riverside, Moreno Valley areas. And if you move around the map, you can also select any polygon or any zip code just by clicking on it. And in doing so, you pull up the details for that particular region. So you'll see all of the details from your data sets or your fusion tables. And if you would like to look for more nuanced information, you can continue playing around with the filter. And in doing so, you can change the ranges. So here we see now higher percentages of volunteerism only, and they coincide with the higher percentages in voter registration. You can see the purples and pinks and reds are the areas with the higher densities. And if you want, you can view the map in full screen, and there you have it, a density map created using Google Fusion Tables. Thank you for watching.